Good morning, or whatever time of day it is where you are. Can you hear the skylarks? Listen to them. Well, I've come out early. Look at those interesting Glastonbury Tor-like hills there, look. I've got cowslips everywhere. Well, I've got up early. I won't tell you the details of what's going on in my house, but I got going because I wanted to beat the crowds. I nearly said beat the people, but that sounds a bit violent, doesn't it? So I've come out here. Now behind me, on the top of the hill, that's a burial mound called Adam's Grave. Not a fan of the name. Not a fan of pagan places being named Christian names. So anyway, so that's that up there. We're coming up Knapp Hill. That's what this is. Well, couldn't quite get it. Obviously, I'm near a nest. So near nests. That's why I'm coming up here. Well, this is the way, because they don't nest here. They'll nest where all the cowslips are. Wow, I'm so pleased to see all these cowslips. Aside from the traffic, quite a good view, isn't it? And then we'll down that way as well. And here we are, we're about to enter the hill fort, as they call them, or probably should call them enclosure dwelling place. Wow, look at all them. That field that's there, the green one, just where this bit of the hill goes, that's probably the most famous crop circle field in history. That's East Field. Now look at that soil creep. Isn't that fantastic? Well, I'm sorry I'm not hanging around to do a really long video. It's, do you know what? When I came out, I picked today also because this is the last day for a while where the temperature is going to be no more than 17. So I'm having to come out because I got to take your chance when you can, or one has to take one's chance when one can, because you don't want to know the details of my staying warm. It's quite easy. I've only got to move and I'm warm, so I don't need the temperature up. But I came a different way. Normally I come here in any video that you may see this, because it does appear in a couple. I will have come from the other way, and I realised today, because I've come from the opposite direction, that it's probably wise that I never come from that direction, because I went past probably getting on for a dozen places of significant memory. Do you know what I mean? Like you haven't been somewhere for ages and you go there and you just remember stuff. Well, some of this is significant that I'm remembering, and well, I'm not sure that I want it to be remembered, or I'm not sure that I wanted to remember it. Now we're not going to go this way, but you can see earthworks all the way through here. These are ancient earthworks. So we're going to go up to this one now. Going back to the settlements, I think they're called causewayed enclosures, aren't they? That's the technical term. So we're going to go up to another one here. Basically, my plan is to go and visit one of my favourite barrows. That's the intention. We'll see whether the execution lives up to the intention. The last time I came up here was with an old friend of mine. So I've been put into memories of that, and I also remember that the day before, literally the day before my son was born, me and his mother came up here with a few of us. And then in that night, the waters broke. And some other tiny flowers. My head's going rest harrow, but I'm not sure it is it? I've no idea what the other white flowers are either. I don't know a lot of flowers like this, basically because I don't see them often. Well, I haven't. I've been a hermit for 15 years and haven't gone out. On a coincidental note, I remember coming with my son to that hill that's there in front of us, and he was young enough, you know, he was walking about, not sure what age he would have been, 9, 10, and we came up and we had to go back because the wind was so strong that he was frozen. It was incredible. And he's pretty hardy. You know, he doesn't let things like that bother him, usually. That's when I knew he wasn't mucking about. Look at this. I'm always happier when I get to the top. Less of a generating of heat. So onwards. Well, that's where we've come from, and now we are on a causewayed enclosure, and look what we have here. But you can't yet because I'm hiding it from your vision, but look, a dew pond, a proper, real, live, bona fide dew pond. Now, if you can imagine this, many thousands of years ago, people were around here. This was where the water came from. This was the water supply up here. Now, you wouldn't think of drinking that now without thoroughly filtering it. So either the water was purer, or they had methods of filtering it, or both. Now, I'm a big fan of both. You know, does your options. Wow, this is amazing. Look at this. And there's another one, look. And there's a view of Adam's grave straight ahead there. And look, this looks like it could have been another one. And if you see quite a few of these, notice very often there's a hawthorn tree at its head. I've no idea why. I'd like to be able to come out with some magical reason as to why, but I don't know why. I'm one of those people that admits when they're wrong, or when they don't know. I heard a famous pop star say, well, there's no point coming out with any bullshit because they can get you on it. The thing you can do is, if you tell the truth, what can they do? And he was talking about the media, obviously. It's like, yeah, what can they do? There's another. Interesting, isn't it? I mean, I really like them. When I see them, I get all excited because maybe I can feel the energy, because I know I can dowse with my body. I've actually got it on film of me doing it. And here's another. So you do find a lot of these, you know, you do find them around the place, but certainly on the tops of causewayed enclosures, you most definitely do. O Hawthorne Grove. Blessings to you. Look at that. Wow. I'm going to go out the same way we came in. There are some bits of flint here. Oh, look at that. I'm not sure. There's half a geode down there. And the geode there, yeah, not sure where they came from, but maybe that's a mission for another day. Thank you, Grove. And you see we're nearly in June and the hawthorn's not out. This is why I say that pagan feast dates aren't fixed. Look at all this dead firs. That's a strange thing. Wow, this is a beautiful morning. Look at it in that valley there. The colour. And here's another. Now, they could equally be old plundered barrows that have been dug out, but I can't see where the soil is that would come out of there, because anyone who's dug anything will know that even if you dig 10 litres it looks like 20. That's what soil does. That's what it looks like. Now, I really hope I'm going the right way. I nearly said I really hope I'm going the wrong way there. Did you catch it? I'm leaving that on the film just in case. Because it is quite easy to slightly go astray. Now that clump of trees down there in the valley in the distance, that holds the source spring to Stonehenge. That's the source of the River Avon. Now some people will say it's the Bourne, but technically a bourne is a temporary river. And you get Bournemouth on the south coast is basically where it comes out, and coincidentally is the place where we used to go for our days out. Yeah, I'm full of them. Now over on the other side of that ridge there, a mile or so over, maybe not quite that far, is a hill called Golden Bull Hill. So if you note the connection between Golden Bull Hill and the fact that pretty much any crop circle that's seen being formed, well, just remember that. See, all the sheep available branches have been nibbled to give these the shape they are. Look at these ones through here though, look at that, those lower branches. And look at the wool on the, on the trunk. I mean, look at that for a structure. And you can see in the distance through there, that's a couple of 2 milli, isn't it, on the top there. You see that thing just fly up? They really have an amazing energy, and certainly when they're on a hilltop like this and they get stunted by the wind, almost like the only craggy thing up here. Obviously aside from me, of course. So look, you can see it's actually been built. Yeah, you don't come on a high point like this a long way up a hill and come and do some serious digging if there's not a good reason for it. And you can see if the hill, those trees in the distance, look. You can see them on the side of it, growing out of the side of it. So we're heading to this wood, and for anyone who likes to know where these places are, it's called Gopher Wood. And you can look it up on a map. It's near Adam's Grave, Knapp Hill, Pewsey, Alton Barnes, that kind of way. Now look at this. I was going to stop filming for a bit, but Look at this structure, or collapsed structure. It's pretty big. And really, farmers and the landowners, they don't come and do stuff like this unless there's a very good reason, or you know, or it's part of the water supply system or something. And this isn't. There is nothing remaining, although we have a stone here, kind of, I don't know, you see there's a hole there actually. But there aren't any others around. Now I'm guilty of, I better rephrase that because that'll be taken out of context, won't it? I often, you know, people say stuff or leave comments about, you know, I'm imagining all this and blah blah blah. And what I did, I went through a whole period of not believing, you know, not believing my own instincts. And so I'd see stuff like that all over the place and put it down to farmers' stuff from the years. But it's only been recently I've been actually properly thinking about it and realising, no, that doesn't explain it at all. To explain some, sure, because there are chalk pits along here and all sorts. But others, no, they're a different kettle of fish. Oh, look at this. That's a nice old one, isn't it? Wow, this is my kind of place. It's the wood. Oh, I feel so much better. Not that I wasn't feeling that great. Now you can see the white flowers in there. They're stitchwort. Greater stitchwort. And as my friend said to me when we were coming past here, he said, "Ah, great place to bury a body, isn't it?"